instances of polygamy has seen a sharp decline, cut across different sections of society, cut across different sections of religion, and this is according to the NFHS data, which establishes the incidence of polygamy has gone down across different status. In fact, polygamy is highest among sections of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and where the socio-economic factors are at an all-time low. That is where you see instances of polygamy. And here, even though according to personal law, I agree that Islam does have room for polygamy, but the statistics prove otherwise. It shows, according to the data, that practice is not at all prevalent amongst Indian Muslims. So when it is already not a practice, whether it is a nikah halala, whether it is polygamy, I really don't understand why one has to thrust a law upon the citizenry of India when these practices are not at all prevalent.
Okay,
but
so let me ask you a counter question, and I mean this very rhetorically. Sarah Shah Halim, just a second. I mean this very rhetorically. How many cases of bestiality do you know? How many cases?
Sorry?
How many cases of bestiality do you know?
You let me know, no, Padmaja.
When was the last time?
You all are saying.
When was the last time you heard a front page case of bestiality? Then let's not criminalize it. Why thrust a law upon people against bestiality when we hardly hear of bestiality? The cases of bestiality have also gone down significantly. But does that mean we should kill the law?
I'm answering. Can we discuss about the domestic violence of India that does not discriminate between
question.
Religion?
Domestic violence cases also, ma'am, have gone down significantly. Let's get away the law talking about domestic violence, because not everyone is burning their brides anymore, pouring kerosene on them. Gradually, with education going up, we see fewer brides being burned. By the way, how many cases of sati have you heard of recently? Let's decriminalize it.
As far as religion is concerned.
Why make sati pratha a crime? Because of late, I haven't really seen many cases of sati. Let's do away with the law. Finish the sati law.
I am quoting the NFHS data of 2019 to 2020. It shows the prevalence of polygamy was 1.9% amongst the Muslims, and it was 1.3% among the Hindus, and 1.6% among other religious parties. So it shows, and we are totally busting the myth that Muslims are encouraging other people of the community to have polygamous marriage.
Nobody is saying that. But who said it? Who said it?
We don't need a law.
Nobody said that Muslims are encouraging polygamy. Polygamy happens everywhere. The difference is, in Hindus it's a crime, in Muslims it's not.
No, but we are floating
That's
the narrative here, no?
We are not saying that at all.
We are floating the narrative here.
Who?
That Muslims are encouraging nikah halala. No. Muslims are encouraging polygamous marriages. No. That is the reason we are having this debate.
So, just a small difference. Just a small difference. Nikah halala doesn't happen in Hindus, but polygamy happens across the board. Crime in Hindus, not a crime in Muslims. That's the only difference. And it should be a crime for both. Instead of saying, let's decriminalize it for everyone, say, make it a crime for both.
Is dowry harassment a reality or it's a myth?
It's a reality.
And there's a law. Thank you. Yes, there is a law against it.
A myth?
It's a reality. What's your point?
If there is a law, please tell me how many women died of dowry deaths this year. Give me the statistics.
Oh, come on.
Even if there's a law,
what's your point?
Dowry deaths despite the law.
Okay, Shalini Ali is responding to that, but just to be clear, basically what you're saying is that despite the dowry law, women continue to die. So the law is pointless. We should do away with the dowry law.
Can be said by murder law also. Murders happen even now. Murders happen now. So murder law should be done.
Let Shalini Ali respond. She works with women. Shalini Ali.
Yes. See, just because the law has been brought about and there have been instances where such incidents have taken place, that does not mean you scrap out a law. You don't bring more laws for upliftment of women. I mean, this is like you yourself are saying, let's have a crime, let's not punish people, let's not move forward, and this is something which we should be doing. Okay, let's go according to what the Quran says. The Quran says that with the land in which you are living in, you should follow the law. Hubbal watani nisful iman. So, if today we are bringing in uniform civil code, which is according to the Quran, which is a fact which has been stated to the Quran, where are we going wrong? There is nothing wrong in bringing about UCC.
Okay, let me answer. So don't you think there should be a consensus on it, and there should be some kind of substantive consultations amongst all religions before we can thrust upon a law upon the citizenry of India? Don't you think we should have a substantive kind of consultation with all religious groups? That is the reason.
Okay, so now the objection is to the consultation process. Are we all agreed? Are we all agreed that we back the UCC, but the consultation has to be wider? Is that what you're saying, Sara Shah Halim? You want the UCC, you want polygamy, halala, iddat gone.
Yes.
You want it gone. You want it gone.
We want all social evils to be done away with, irrespective of the religion. However, we need to see the draft ready.
Okay,
where is
fabulous.
the architecture of the
fabulous.
draft?
I'm very glad you've taken this stand. Women will thank you. Women will thank you. That's a great stand to take.